Article posted in Advisor.ca mentions that CRA has raised $166 million in taxes on overcontributions to TFSAs. I laugh, but it's not funny. Let's make sure that doesn't happen to you. So, believe it or not, overcontributing to your TFSA is really easy. So remember that if you're making withdrawals from your TFSA in a calendar year, that doesn't get added back to your contribution room until the next calendar year. That's really important to remember, particularly for people who use their TFSA as a source of funds for like big ticket spending. So let's take a situation. You contribute the maximum to your account. So let's say you've got about 100K in that account, January 1st. June, you make a big withdrawal. Say you buy a car. That's a common use case for TFSA that somebody might have, is their midterm savings. So you buy a car, and then you get a windfall at work, like a bonus. So you've taken out, let's call it $30,000, it's a cheap car, and you get a windfall at work, so you put in another $10,000. Now, unfortunately, even though you took out 30, you don't have that room back, actually, until the next calendar year. So for this situation, January 1st of 2025, June, you make this withdrawal of 30,000, and then let's say July, you put in 10,000. Nobody warns you, by the way, that you've done this. Nobody even finds out until generally midway through the next calendar year. So you actually didn't have that $30,000 of contribution room back until January 1st, 2026. So what's happened is your $10,000 over contributed to your account for July, August, September, October, November, December. So the CRA charges a 1% tax per month. So if you've got 6 months over contributed at $10,000, you're going to be paying $600 in taxes. And the CRA used to send these education letters to help people make sure that they weren't over contributing, but it seems like they're moving straight to the penalty these days. So that's a really common case. Another case is just like if you make a contribution in January, you're busy because you're just going back from work, from the holidays, you might forget that you did that. And so you do another contribution. And again, nobody warns you, nobody tells you, right? You have to be really diligent with this, especially with a January contribution. They might not find out until a full year or more has passed, until all the financial institutions are filing their TFSA records with CRA. So it's really easy to overcontribute. So it's important to stay vigilant. With your FHSA, with your TFSA, and RSPs, of course, it's easy to overcontribute as well. And there's some additional complexity in there because the years or months that count for a contribution vary. But that said, TFSA is very easy. Don't underestimate the cost, right, of doing so. It can get pretty expensive.